You non-tech savvy bitch.
I guess it's my computer I use for the car, and I haven't got the sound dialed in. I guess
I got you.
So, yeah.
All right. Well, we are finally live, guys. We've got everybody here. We've got Mr. Chad Kramer, James Hellerman, and Jeff Smith today. So we're going to be talking a little bit about the NMRA weekend we had going on. Jeff's going to give us a rundown a little bit about his car and what he's got going on and what everybody's plans are. And I believe James is going to talk a little bit about AJ's hot rod today. If you don't know AJ's car, it's the one that's got the Cobra engineering all over the side of it. So
kind of like my McLeod banner.
McLeod, yes. And you've got McLeod on the side of your car. Now, is that a sticker or is that decal or is that actually just what can't be magnetic because the doors are fiberglass? So I didn't think about that.
Yeah, it's just a vinyl decal that I put on, and I take it off or put it on depending on what I'm doing.
Gotcha. So are you running the Rxt Clutch? Is that what you're running in that car?
Yeah, Rxt 1200 HD.
HD. Gotcha.
So they've got the RST, obviously the RXT, and then they got the RXT 1200, which just has a little bit more pressure in the pressure plate to allow it to hold a little bit more.
A little more.
So is the disc the same then?
I thought it was bad. It was so stiff.
Oh shit, it was fine. Yeah, so the discs are the same in the 1200 and the regular RXT. The only difference is the pressure plate.
Gotcha. Well, I guess we'll go ahead and let you guys introduce yourself as we're already kind of into this thing. Jeff, you want to go ahead there and give a rundown about your vehicle and how long you've been racing and all that good stuff?
Okay. Jeff Smith, stick shift dude. I bought this car in 2013. Obviously, I've been racing Mustangs since the 90s, but this car, the Cobra, I've had since 13, and it was just was a street car that's metamorphosed into a little bit faster of a street car that seems to be nothing but headaches lately, but hopefully we're it's gonna make a turn and and start showing some progress again. But anyway, comp orange, I bought it with 9,000 miles, so everything that's been done to it is stuff that I've had done to it. It's had a VMP back in the day, and then it had a Gen3 Whipple, Gen4, and now the Gen5. And it's a built motor, Texas block, comp cams, Gibtech pistons, 10.5-to-1. Got all of James's goodies on there. It's a Magnum T56, McLeod clutch. Built IRS with an iron center chunk, and it's got drive shaft shop, half shafts, all the Maximum Motorsports goodies. TIG Vision did the cage, 850 cage. I think those are pretty much about the highlights. The best the cars run is a 935 at 154.
Which is still IRS, so that's pretty damn impressive. So you're going to try to go 8s with that car? Is that the plan?
I just want to get it back to where it's consistent, to be honest with you. But, if that happens, then that'd be cool. I've been trying to go after Dan Watts. I think he's been a 925.
Well, you're not far off then, but I don't guess you've been that far since the new engine combination.
Well, I had the new engine, but I didn't have the Holly on there. Mm-hmm. And I also have never run a slick on the car. I run it, with a QuickTime Pro, and run it so it's NMRA, type trim. So if I put a slick on it, it'd probably pick up that little bit because the car doesn't 60 foot that great. But, I broke half shafts before, even though the ones I got are like the old ones. They're the old level 5s that still reuse the factory inner. So I'm they still are on my mind when I drop the clutch.
I understand that. So you got a lot of bushings and stuff in the back of that car too? Did you change all the bushings out in the IRS?
Yeah, it's got the whole Maximum Motorsports grip kit. They're just the Dell run on the one side, and they're still poly on the other. And it's got the Ford Racing diff cover, Eaton True Track.
What are you supposed to poly in there?
Do what?
Where is there still poly in there?
On the front. So on the front, it's got poly, and on the rear of the actual subframe of the IRS is Delrin.
You're killing me.
You'll have that, James. You'll have
You got
that.
the larger bolt up there. At least you got to run the larger bolt in the front.
I don't have a
Bondo.
larger bolt in the front. I didn't know that was the thing.
No.
Good
Kill it.
Lord.
You got to remember, I set up cars for turning. I've got more stuff in that rear end than most people put in the engine.
Hey, this thing
Good
rides like a
Lord.
Cadillac.
Jeff, do you use a tamer of any sort on that thing, on the clutch, or any kind of slipping
My
device?
foot. Old-fashioned slippage.
Old fashioned, going back to the good old days.
I was watching Yasko do that tamer thing where he uses it in first gear and doesn't use it in any other gears, and it just looks like one other. Hold on.
Oh, you went black.
It looked like one other handicap that could go wrong. So I'm not about anything that's going to outsmart me.
I can't think of the guy's name. Bill, I can't think of his last name, but he's got some kind of electronic deal now out. He runs a bunch of drag week stuff. I think he runs a Falcon or something like that. You know what I'm talking about? What car I'm talking about?
I never heard of that. I haven't
I forgot what it's called. Maybe somebody in chat will know. But anyways, we'll go over here to Chad. Chad, what you got done to that car over there, man?
Oh, it's got a little bit of everything, man. I've had it since 2016. I bought it completely stock. I slapped a VMP on it and put an auto in it right away. And the first time we took it to the track at Bowling Green, actually, it went 10-0 the first weekend I had the car. And we've been fighting with this thing off and on, but we've had a really good year this year. I've got good people helping me out, and it's been a solid year. We've done nothing more than really oil changes. So good.
That is very good. And you're running, what do you say, a Circle D converter in that car?
Yeah, it's a Circle D. It's around a 4,000 stall. The car, I don't have the trans brake hooked up. I just foot brake it, so I'm leaving around 900. And the car's been averaging 130s to 134 60 foot, so I can't really complain about that.
Oh, that's pretty impressive. I couldn't get nothing better than a 1.4 out of a foot brake deal. So both you guys are running ethanol, correct? Ethanol fuels?
I run C85.
So you run C85 from VP.
Yes.
And what about you, Jeff? What are you running?
I've been running Pumpy 85, but I've had some issues with with the consistency and having to drive across town to get it. So I got a drum of Ignite. So I've been playing with it, but I need to tweak with the tune some, so I've just been mixing like 50-50.
It does tune a little bit different. I didn't notice that it uses a lot more fuel the Ignite does. I just started running in my car as well at NMRA, and it's the O2 sensors were compensating by a lot for that fuel. Now everybody here is running the Gen5 Whipple, correct?
Yes, that's correct.
Are you ported, Chad?
I am, yes.
What about you, Jeff? Is yours ported?
I am not. No, I got, I was like one of the last ones to get the Gen5. And, I've been kind of toying around with the idea of asking Nick if I should do it, but he seems to think it's not worth it at my level, but, we'll see.
I think it's more useful at a higher RPM. And Chad, you're still running the stock ECU, correct?
I am. I have Mega Squirt. The time has not allowed for it to be finally dialed in, but it's not really hindered me too much so far.
Gotcha. Yeah, it doesn't seem like it's a big issue until you start trying to rev it over $7,000. And from what I've noticed with my car likes to shift at 7,200. If I start going much more than that, which that could be a camshaft deal or whatever, but I've noticed that it doesn't pick up. It actually falls off. So I'm not so sure if it's really worth going up to $8,000. I mean, a lot of these guys are having really good success with it, but I'm not having any kind of success at all with it.
I was told by my engine guy that he wasn't so sure that I needed the extra 500 after, to go to 8,000. So I've been actually shifting the car at 6,800. So I'm not even really leaning on it very hard yet.
I got you.
I've been shifted. I shifted mine at 7,300 the last time out, and that was about all it had, but we changed the cam timing. So I haven't actually run it to see if that's going to help or hurt it.
So while you was down with all the stuff, the injector stuff, you were redegreening the cams as well?
Yeah, we tried a couple other things while we had some time.
You really need the heads and the cam to get up over 7. We were running 8s to 9 at one time, and we ended up shifting at 8, and it never lost any mile per hour or nothing. And now we're talking about coming down from that. I think his shift light comes on now at like 7,600. So
I think 75 is the sweet spot for the blower. I really, really do.
I agree.
That breeze to I think it was holding 27 psi at 8,500 RPM, something like that. So
Yeah, but does AJ have a accelerometer in that car to be able to tell if it's falling off or not?
Yes,
He does.
and that's this year we added that. I don't know if you really got into that at Bowling Green, because it was Bowling Green on Friday. They got 7 runs in, and it was all 6, working on the 60 foot. So we got the best 60 foot and the best 8th mile pass in. And we had a 121 60 foot. And the last run of the night or the one before, Jake was pretty convinced we had a 120 in it. And we read the data log, couldn't figure out what was going on because everything looked great. Turned out he lifted off the gas to 70% for about 0.8 seconds.
Better tell your driver, tighten up.
Yeah, I gotta tighten the belt up. Come on now, AJ.
All he's gotta do is hold the gas pedal to the floor. He ain't shifting the gears.
That's it.
Hey. I don't want to hear it over there.
So the fun story is 2 years ago in 2019, we were pitted right next to Chad and Jeff here. And me and Ed noticed that the gas was lifting at the launch. He's a little back in the seat too far. So there I am, ankles in the air, buried under the dash, zip tying a folded rag to the gas pedal so he could hold it to the floor. 2 years later, he still has that damn rag zip tied to the gas pedal.
It's hell being short. So.
Oh my God. Jeff was giving you hell a while ago while you were trying to get your audio working, and he was talking about something about your wife driving the car to the lanes. I mean, you might want to straighten this guy out.
I said she was probably the one getting you on the computer because you didn't know what the hell you were doing.
No, this was all me. That's why it didn't work. So
I got a guy on here asking a question. He wants to know. He's got I guess it's a stock long block. It's a Gen 3 Whipple. He wants to know how far can he push his motor on that blower. Any of you guys got an answer for that?
The Gen 3?
The Gen 3. I'm guessing probably a 2.9. He didn't really specify.
Yeah, no, he says a 2.9 right here.
So with a Gen 3 2.9 crusher with my stock engine, I went 980. Think about 989 at 100 and I want to say 44 at the Mod Nationals several years ago, and I mean that was all I could get out of it. I'm sure there was probably a little bit more. And then I went to the 4, and I went 971 at 145, and then after that's when I pulled the stock engine out and and stopped messing with it. So
any idea what kind of power that was? Guesstimation. And I'm guessing you were on ethanol at that time as well.
Yeah, I've been running E85 pretty much from the beginning. I don't know. So ever since I've had the Whipple on it, I've never really had anybody helping me tune it that had a dyno. We just street tune it. I
would guess, what would you think, James, on that with this mile an hour being that? I'm going to assume probably like mid 700s.
I'd say so.
Yeah, I'm sure.
Probably.
I mean, I think I made 711 with the VMP, and I think I went 986 one time with it in unicorn weather. So I would probably say 750, 770 maybe.
Yeah,
750 through my auto went 970s in my car. So
and that was that a stock long block too, or I guess it don't really matter as long as
it wasn't anything crazy, but at that power level, and that was at 3,850 pounds, I think.
I don't think we'll have any trouble mid 7s with decent mods.
Yeah.
Nothing special.
I mean, in my opinion, I mean, the Gen 4 and the Gen 5 are where it's at. The Gen 3 was, I mean, it's an okay blower, but I feel like the 4, they really hit it good there.
Yeah.
And then the 5 obviously is, it's pretty much as what you're going to, a normal guy is going to put at it.
I agree.
Yeah. Yeah. I was talking, I believe it might've been with Chad at MRA about that the difference between the Gen 4 and the Gen 5 is not like a big massive difference. Now you're going to go faster with the Gen 5, but it's not going to be like a night and day deal. Like kind of like you're saying, the Gen 3 to Gen 4 is like, whoa, hang on, what happened?
Right.
Mhm.
So
Yeah.
Well, what we noticed was large temperature drops, efficiency gains. The boost held. Now we went from, I want to say it was the Gen 2, 3, 4 to the Gen 5. So it was a substantial gain.
Yeah, I don't think the 3.4 was ever. I mean, it was a decent blower, but not great.
No, I took the 3.4 off my car and literally had bigger pulleys on the new Gen 5, and instantly noticed on the street, I was like, holy crap, this is like totally different. I mean, it really was. The 3.4 it was so big. It seemed like if you wasn't at 7,000 RPM, it just didn't really have anything. Anything below that was just, I don't know, it was just flat. Are you guys running? Go ahead, Chad.
Did you guys do any dynos like with the 4 and the 5? We did, and it was a consistent better power with the 5 over the 4 at the same boost. That was consistent. So I was happy to see that.
Interesting. Are you guys all running 373 gear ratios, or what are y'all running for gear?
I was running out of gear, so I went back to a 55.
So you went to a 355.
I've always had a 55. I just run a 55 with a 27-inch tire, and it seems to be good. When I put a 28 on there,
gotcha,
with the back spring, I got a stock spring cut, and I've actually tried all different combinations with the IRS. I actually got a set of custom coilovers behind me that I tried, and they were too stiff, and we've had them revalved. But I've actually I cut a 142 the last time I went out with the IRS, so it's almost like I feel like I'm not ready to try to put another curveball in the equation yet.
With 55s, are you
yeah, 355.
I ran out at 4th gear with 73s. That's what it was.
Yes, you probably will if you're staying below 7,000. So, because I think if I was,
I was like way over 7. I think I was coasting through. In fact,
yeah, I think I turned close to 76 or 77 by the time I get to the quarter mile if I'm running 373s.
Yeah,
it says 373s, but this year we went to a 210 Rossler gear set on the Turbo 400.
Yeah, same as what I've got going on now.
Yeah, and that was a good change. We thought we were going to have to go to 55s with that change, but it's so far it's working well. We're a little worried about the converter was a little tight, but now we're thinking we're going to change the way the power comes in and might be able to do that without a converter change. We're dropping 1,100 RPM on one of the shifts, and that was a little high.
Yeah, that's what I drop exactly, is 1,100 from the 1.2. After that, I only drop 1,000 to 2.3.
I feel like that's a little too much drop, but I was talking with him tonight before, because he's working. It's the only reason he's not here.
Yeah.
And he took a new job, and we're talking about actually bringing the power in lower and hitting it earlier to try to get that converter to slip a little more that way. We're going to run a smaller pulley, bring the power down low. We still haven't brought up the power to the line yet because the track was slick.
It wasn't there yet. NMRA Bowling Green this year, track I thought it was decent come elimination day, but before that it was kind of a little bit slick, kind of hard to get down. But that was the big thing with me, was the 210 ratio. That's why I went with the Turbo 400 and got away from the 4R, because I think the first gear in it was like 284 or something like that. And you start using a trans brake, it's pretty well like either you're going down or you're not at all. So, and I don't like wheel stands. I don't want to be the showstopper. Don't like that.
Right.
I hate that. Because I mean, I watched this year. What did you say, Jim?
Going this year is not having to see AJ drag a bumper and have a heart attack right there.
We don't need that. He does that so many times. It's pretty well. You knew it was going to happen. You knew it was going to happen. I mean, Chad's car.
going back to the Bowling Green thing right quick while I pop another beer here. That I will say the majority of cars were spinning at Bowling Green. I definitely don't think the traction company that they've used in the past is who they use this year. But I will tell you, between you three, it seemed like all three of you guys had no problems going A to B.
I didn't have any issue with the track at all. I really can't complain.
No, you didn't. You about brought tires off the ground.
Most people go to Bowling Green for the prep, and
Right.
Yes.
and we were, we had timing out more than we would have liked. I mean, here I am saying that we ran a 120/160, but there was more there that it could have took more. That car didn't barely lift a few inches one time, so it was set. We finally got the suspension worked out, and I mean, he shortened the front control arms. We went Fox body control arms, a 26-inch front tire, tucked them in, had a 10-pound dumbbell over the front bumper instead of 30. A lot of suspension change. You seen how much lower the car sits. The stance is completely different.
Yeah.
It looked good, dude. Looked real good.
And all the changes in the world. All of a sudden, I'm not having a heart attack anymore while he's dragging a bumper.
Oh,
with IRS, you don't have them problems. You don't pop willies. or do that Chad squat.
Oh, that was bad. That was bad. We had to fix that. So
the old Chad squat. Speaking of the Chad squat, is this what you're talking about? The Chad squat? Maybe I got it here. Let's see.
He liked that squat so much he had somebody draw a picture of it.
yeah. That one was at the Mod Nationals before I scattered the engine all over the track.
Oh,
were you there that year, Daniel?
No, I was not there. Can y'all see my screen here? Is this the Chad squat?
Yeah, that's it.
Oh.
The good old Chad squat.
We have fixed that. So
what did you do to fix that so people know?
I took it to my man Mark Beelman here, and we did an 850 cage with an anti-roll bar, and now it leaves. I mean, it leaves perfect. So
it looks a lot better than that.
That's how we fixed that problem.
It actually 60-footed about the same, but it just looked exciting.
It used to 60 foot in the upper 1.3s there, and now it's in the lower 1.3s. So
okay, so it helped too.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
Now, Jeff,
builds your driving confidence a little more too, I bet.
Absolutely. I was a little gun shy after scattering the motor, but I'm back. So
man, I would be too. Did that happen on the top end? We was talking about that. Oh man.
Oh yeah.
Ooh,
he was going wide open, and dude, it's like the rods went out the side of the block.
I put four holes through it. Yep.
I seen that at Bowling Green this year for the first time ever. It backed the car up, and a track official kicked a wrist pin off the track.
Oh, I was there next to you. Yeah.
Yeah, I'm glad that wasn't my car. Thank God.
Oh man, that hurt.
So, Jeff, you may not be bringing the front tires off the ground, but it looks like you're about to drag that bumper.
Dude, I got the shocks as tight as they'll go, and I actually had a 3-inch Bassani catback, and I had to take it off because it was dragging it was dragging the exhaust on the ground.
That's funny. Here, let's watch let's see if I can watch this video real quick.
Hey, Chad, it could be worse. Yeah. AJ's the opposite of you worrying about the engine. He just doesn't give a shit. He just pops it every year and says, "The hell with it, I'll fix it."
Oh God.
That gets expensive, James. You know that. So.
Oh God, yes.
Did y'all get sound on that?
No,
no.
Look good.
Yeah. So no sound, but that's Jeff's hot rod there going down. Here's another one.
This was a no prep thing. First time I ever did no prep. I made it to the finals, and I missed third gear, and that's why I decided to change the transmission. That led to all kinds of other shit.
Well, you could argue it caught a problem.
Yeah. Yep. Hey, you know what? It's weird that a stock engine went for all them years and did really good, and then you start to up the pony a little bit, and it's like it's almost like you wonder sometimes, is it worth it? Because I had to get the NHRA license, had to, get all the safety equipment. I still need the parachute, but I've been sliding on that deal. And, just all the stuff, the double layer fire suit and all that to go a little bit quicker. It's almost like we're slowing down.
A 7.5 cage next, so.
Oh,
Shit.
oh,
Hey, I just want to. Hey, if I get the 8s, I'll be good for a minute.
Yeah, I don't know about that whole 7.5 deal. I don't like
yeah.
getting in
Now
the
with
car
this,
now.
now with this heavyweight, so
Not unless I put a Coyote in it.
Well, he just had to sign a waiver at Bowling Green because he was breaking 850, and they flagged him a couple times. Finally, they made him sign a waiver.
gotcha.
So we're not going to make it another year. We got to suck it up.
Yeah, yeah.
Oh yeah, let me tell you about Bowling Green, and I think it was 18.
I was there.
I made the stick shift shootout, and the first run, dude
That was
got like
19.
a 2-second head start on me because they do the handicap shit. And I went to reel him in, and I got him, and it went like 987. And keep in mind it was hot, so it had been running 10-0s, and the clutch was having an issue. And anyhow, they've come over there, and they were like, "You're done." And me and my buddy Mike from Trimmick, he was trying to stand up for me and put his muscle in, but it didn't work. They said adios. So then in 19, I think it was 19, I went back, and there were people breaking the rules, and they said, "Oh, you get a 1 race waiver." And it was like, hold on. So I got kicked out, but now they get a waiver.
No, that was 19. You got kicked out. I was there.
We both got kicked out in 19.
Okay, I don't know. I've been going to Bowling Green so many years. Rick Cackness, Sincack, got me hooked on Bowling Green. He talked me into going one year. He said, "Man, just come up. You'll have a good time." And we went up and had a great time. And now it's like, shit, Rick ain't coming 2 or 3 years, and I still go. And he calls me on the way home like, "Man, I'm gonna come next year."
Rick better be here. I ain't seen him in a while.
Me either.
I talked to him. He's a hell of a dude. He's just he's just got people that are slowing him up, and he's just gonna have to put his foot down and and either tell him get it done or go somewhere else.
There you go.
It's hard when you don't turn your own wrenches.
Yeah,
Yep.
I know that firsthand.
Especially now.
I wish I had a lift like that so I could at least detail the undercarriage.
Shit. Yeah, you over talking about that Coyote word. James ain't gonna be friends with you very long. You start talking about that. He's
What the hell you mean, James? James is gonna build it for me.
Yeah, he'll be telling you it's just a street car. Then you can't drag race no Coyote. Did y'all see the stick shift record the other night? The what was it, 695? Joe Steele.
Joel Steele.
What about? I don't know if you guys watched or not, but I watched Second Shift Racing. If any of you guys on here want to check that out, go to Second Shift Racing. He's got a great video of it. But
Cletus green lights and he red lights.
Yes. How does he red light? He's literally still on the 2-step, hasn't moved yet, and he gets red lit, and Cletus is already moving. I'm like,
I think he got robbed, and I'll tell you, dude. So, and I'm not changing the subject here, but in NMRA 1 year in Bradenton, I was in the right lane, and I think it was one of the only times I ever participated and didn't make the top 8. And I was in the right lane, and it said I rolled the beams, and I had video. I never moved. And what the track champion Bill Lee told me, there was a divot in the track, and the beam goes through your spoke. And it thought I rolled, even though I didn't, and it disqualified me. They didn't want to hear nothing about it. So when it happened to him, if you actually watched a lot of the FL2K, which I went there on Friday, and I watched the live feed on Sunday, and there was quite a few people red light in that left lane. It makes you wonder, was something up or what? But I definitely think he got robbed, and the dude is a hell of a guy because, he didn't harp on it too much,
No,
well, he posted that the research they did basically said that too bad, so sad by the rules. The light is the final word.
Well, I think that, people were saying on the thing I was looking at that they think is fender exhaust pointing right at at the beams, and it shook the bumper, and that may have done it, you know. And I've seen those pecker extenders people put on their cars, you know, cause an issue. So it's hard to say. I mean, I'd put some bull horns or something on it and make sure that wasn't an issue going forward.
Is there any rule against the sail panel in the middle?
I have no
what do you
idea
mean?
on it.
It's like a
Like the
beam
no
truck,
prep guys run?
basically. They run them in
No prep.
pro mods and stuff.
Yes. Yeah.
They got like a little sail panel in the front.
Oh,
To
yeah, it's
give
the
it
pecker.
equal-
He's talking about the pecker extension. Yeah, he said that.
Yeah.
Pecker extension. Yeah.
Oh,
So anyhow, but to get back to Joel, I mean, I met the guy, I don't know, last year, the year before at Bradenton, and you know, I had never heard of him, never seen the car, and he showed up, and I looked in there, and he had that big Holly dash, like the baller 12.3, and he was all strapped in there, and he was getting it back then, and I knew that, you know, once he got some seat time, he was going to be something, and man, he did it. He made it look easy.
Oh yeah, the car looks like it goes
T56 in
every
there,
time.
right?
What was it?
That's a T56 in there, it said, right?
Yeah, it's an H pattern car, isn't it?
Yeah,
Well-
I think he, you know, he was plugging tick. So I mean, it's probably got some, you know, I mean, I'm sure it's not off the shelf Magnum, but still, I mean, it's impressive. And yeah, he went sixes twice. He went like a 698, then he backed it up with a 695. And then what was
They
really
asked him to
cool,
come back for an exhibition run at the end of the night, and he did.
he
the
ran
six-
Brett LaSala with the snot rocket, dude. That's my favorite car.
Oh yeah, absolutely. Love that car.
Yep.
The guy
I just
tuning
wonder
that
if
car
that's
needs to tune your
close.
car.
Is he rolling 4 gears or only 3 to do that? It's got to be only 3, right?
No, he was hitting 4.
Oh my! There's no time.
right.
Dude, I mean, homeboy must be on it, you know?
He is definitely on it. That 1-2 comes
Well,
quick.
he said it happened so quick that he didn't realize like how fast he was going till someone sent him a video from the top end of the track, you know, and him going by 200 mile an hour because, you know, going 154, you know, sometimes people are like, oh, what'd you shift at? Or what was air fuel ratio? I'm like,
Going, who knows?
I wasn't looking at the damn dash. I was trying to make sure I wasn't gonna, you know,
Crash.
run in the other lane or something.
Yeah.
You lose perspective and focus. When I used to do road racing, that would happen. You'd get out on a road race and I was red flagging you. Why didn't you stop? I was focused. I didn't see that. I was hitting the apex
Yep.
at a corner. I was doing this. I was doing that. I didn't see anything else going on.
There's
You
a
know?
lot going on when you get to
Yeah.
the line. And once you get to the line, it's just like, I got one job, you know, I gotta get this done. Have
You
any
know
of y'all
what?
raced SVT Dan?
Yeah. What about SVT, Dan?
Uh-oh, is Jeff about to talk shit? I already feel it. It's coming. Oh, no, SVT Dan's not even on here to defend himself. Yeah, somebody's asking if you've raced him and basically who won.
No, I've never raced him, but I actually he came to the NMRA race, I don't know, several years ago in Bradenton. And, you know, obviously he ran real good and dude, his car is super clean. But no, we've, you know, he's in, where is he? Ohio. And, you know, we're in Florida, and at the Mod Nationals, I don't think we never got lined up there either. Of course, you know, hell, I wasn't there last year, so maybe this year we'll try it.
Oh, you're my man this year at Mod Nationals. No one else is making it.
Hey, but I will. Let me add this. I got AC still, and it works for what that's worth.
It's not. So,
I'll put AC on for a 10th all day long.
oh boy.
No, Dan, dude, he did all the powder coating on my car. He does super work. I'm kind of bummed he got out of that deal.
Oh, that sucks.
All right,
Yeah,
Chad, I'm
that's-
gonna bring up a video here of you real quick.
Okay.
So explain what your wife's doing here.
Oh boy.
He's yelling at him, tell him to chill the fuck out.
She's giving him a pep talk, that's for sure. That's share sound. There we go. Maybe this
Was
will
Let's
this the
see.
one I shot?
Okay. So what's going on there is my dial-in rubbed off my window when I rolled my windows down. So I needed her to tell the starter what my dial-in was for mod muscle eliminations. That's what that was.
Okay, I just thought maybe there might have been some of that Cletus McFarland stuff going on there.
No.
Make sure my light goes off,
No.
the other guys doesn't, that kind of thing.
No, I just wanted to make sure the tower knew my number. That's all.
I shot the video and I was wondering what was going on. I didn't know.
Yeah, I need a better dial-in marker. So
I think I was sitting in about the third or fourth grandstand trying to stay out of the way.
So this is qualifying pass, I do believe.
No. This
was eliminations.
Oh,
this is an elimination round. Is this round 1?
He ran Burgess Cobra and round 1.
I
okay, that's next.
One of our buddies.
Okay, that's next one.
This is elimination.
Round 2. This is where he nails the index.
Yeah, I ran a 15 on a 15.
This was a nice run.
Choppy.
Okay. Look at that thing line.
That's a hell of a delay there to have to wait.
Yeah.
So he broke out in the other lane, looks like. Be my guess, right?
No, he just,
or he red light.
I don't know. I won.
You won. You definitely won. Your light came on, but I was curious because he got to the finish first, so I'm assuming he either red lit or he broke out.
He probably broke out.
Because at 9:15, I mean, you're on it. I'm not sure what your reaction time on that was, but it looked pretty good.
It was decent. It was better than his was too. So
I think it was like a 080.
Yeah, no, that was the next round.
Okay.
I think he had a good reaction time, but you just nailed your index and just killed him.
Yeah, I was pretty happy with it, and thank God for belt slip. Otherwise, we wouldn't have hit it. So.
Yeah, there's Burgess Cobra's team Whipple over here. He's the.
Yep.
He's
This is
he's
the same
this year.
This was round 1.
Oh, this was round 1. Okay.
For Cobra.
You guys in chat getting this pretty good. Video sound okay? Is it loud enough?
Yeah.
We have Burgess's Mustang on the
Look at that pretty orange car back here.
It is, isn't it?
Only a quarter of a second
if the driver would only make a full pull.
Oh, some shit talking already. You sound like my cousin.
Time in this battle going to the right side.
Look at this. So you went a 9:16.
9:16
on the first one, and a 9:15 on the second one.
He takes out Jeremiah Burgess.
You some bracket racing fools over there.
But spun on the hit. Chad Creamer.
I'm telling you.
I can almost promise you Jeremiah's watching right now too.
Jeremiah, I'm sorry, bub. I mean,
it was all in good fun.
Do better.
I think old Jeremiah said he blew a head gasket or something.
In the staging lanes or
there or later.
I think it was later, but I didn't know you could blow a head gasket in a Cobra.
Oh, you could. I just blow it out the side.
On rings, copper, you name it.
I believe this is the final.
Oh, this is the elimination here.
That parachute looks good.
So you even used the chute? I didn't think you did. I didn't think I seen it pulled.
No. The tech guy the tech guy gave me some trouble last year, so I had everything.
I watch this launch. Look at these front tires. I'm telling you.
Are you marking your tires at all, too?
Yeah, they haven't moved.
That's impressive. They haven't moved.
Bead lock on the back.
Yeah.
It would look really good with the bead lock. Man, they're expensive.
Yes, they are.
The whole RC comps. That's
right.
Yeah. They sponsor AJ now.
I have to give him a call.
Is you guys seeing that video like in real time, or is it real laggy?
It's lagging.
No,
It's laggy
laggy.
real bad. Yeah.
Okay. Because that didn't
Unfortunately.
do it justice.
No, it
Shameless
doesn't do it
plug, I
justice.
have a lot of these videos on my YouTube channel at Cobra Engineering. So
Yeah, go
check
over to
out
Cobra Engineering.
CobraEngineering.com for all the goodies.
That's right.
One
Actually,
day he's gonna make some coolant crossover deletes for the masses,
Oh man.
so
oh,
everybody
man.
can buy one.
It's on my Christmas list for sure. So
the way it's going, it's going to be Christmas. Jesus.
that'd be a good present, James. So
Yeah, I think I need some of them too, because mine got ganked.
Yeah, we already worked on that.
Alex is on here.
We'll stay on topic here while you're on your runs there. What's your plans the rest of the year? What do you got to improve on that?
So I have massive belt slip. So I changed pulleys today, as a matter of fact, and we're gonna go back to the track Wednesday, and then I'm probably I don't think it's gonna be great, so I think we're gonna have to do 10 rib next. I think is the next plan.
So you still got the alternator factory location, right?
Yes, sir. Yep.
So you're going to do 10 rib with it in the factory location.
No, I'm gonna do 10 rib and move it over on the drive. The
AC.
Alternator?
Yeah, where the AC was. Yes.
Gotcha. So you're going to do away with it. Are you going to go with the belt straight down from the blower to the crank, or are you going to do
Yes.
it like? Okay.
No, I'm gonna go straight down.
That's what I did too.
I took off.
By far easier.
I took off my pulleys yesterday, and we cleaned them right before Bowling Green, and they were just covered in dust. So I'm only seeing max boost I saw was 20.2. So I got to do.
That's pretty impressive. 20.2 though for what you're running, because that car could potentially go 8s with that setup. So
yeah,
that was a 3,250, right?
No, that was a 3.5 upper, 4 pound lower.
Yeah.
Never got the 250 to do anything, right?
The 250, we tried. Eric Bartikoff lent me a pulley, and we just tried a trial run on Friday night, and it actually somehow picked up mile an hour, but I shredded a belt, and it was an ugly run. I mean, it still went 930, shredding the belt and stuff. So the power's there, but it wasn't happening that night.
Yes, and then you're gonna get that MS3 in there.
Yeah, it's close. We just ran out of time before Bowling Green. We do it every year.
Be able to dial it in a little better with that. You're gonna go speed density, or you're gonna stick with the master?
No, speed density.
All right. So everyone knows I'm working on a design for a horn for that to eliminate intake. It'll just be a horn on the throttle body.
So you're still doing that. I didn't know if you were giving that up or not. So
I just got to find the right 3D printer that's decent to work with. If anyone has shoot me an email, I mean, I get anything done nowadays.
Come on, Jeff over there knocking over beer cans. Come on, man.
Come on.
But Jeff, go back to your engine compartment.
See the car instead of my ugly mug.
Yeah, go to the engine compartment real quick there, Jeff. You don't care where your inlet is. So what I want is right there where his inlet's coming out of the throttle body. I want it to go all the way up to the front of the headlight and have a headlight made to where it has a big bell horn out front, exactly like that. But I want a bell horn on the front of that sunbuck.
So you got to fish it in through the headlight hole, and
I'm gonna cut that sucker way out, and I want a bell horn sticking out the front of that thing.
Well, this bell, by the time I was done, to keep the size of that throttle body, I want to say the outside diameter of that bell was like 9 inches. It's huge.
Yeah. We make it work on the front. Yeah. We make it work. I mean, it may not look right, but I mean, it'll probably work. I'm telling you. And good air. Could you imagine that down the end of the racetrack? I bet it'll pick up.
Well, right now,
that's what you need. Chad, that's what you need right here. A 6 pound lower.
It's already on the car, buddy.
Oh. So he's going 8s. So he's gonna hit 8s for the end of the year. So
yep.
What track time you got coming, Ted?
What's that?
What track time do you got coming then?
Next Wednesday and Saturday are open testing tunes. We're gonna probably head over Wednesday night.
You gonna post the videos on your Instagram? Let us know when you hit that record, get that date.
Yeah. I might tell them I'm not leaving until I get it. So.
That's fine. 04 Mystic guys over on the
Yeah.
Instagram.
Dude, I
Go
ain't
check
gonna
it
lie.
out.
I've been waiting a year. Last year he went 9-1, and a year later he went 9-1. It was like when I was stuck in the 10s for like 10 years, and then I finally did it. And then it was like no big thing. So that's
Yeah.
probably what's going to happen when he's trying to go for 8s. Once he hits it, it's going to be every pass.
I mean, that's
Probably
the plan. That's the plan. So I got to get, it's one thing about my car, it is heavy. As you know, Dan, yours is heavy too. So I'm fighting that battle too.
Yeah, I think
Yeah,
I'm at 3750 the last time I weighed it with me in it. So
I'm at 3,800. So yeah,
I'm at
it's
37. So
And I'm
like,
AJ's at 35, and I'm telling him, if you want to keep going, you need serious diet. It's a full interior still.
that's
Power
how mine
windows,
is.
you name it.
you can't
turkeys,
get rid
baby,
of it.
turkeys.
He's got Kirkies, don't he? AJ's got Kirkies.
Yeah.
Yeah.
No, I'm saying Chad. Chad's got them big old heavy Mr. Chrome seats in there.
Yeah, that's 100. That's 100 pounds. No, legit. It's 100 pounds.
I know. I have a hard time giving that stuff up though. So
You can't reach the pedals without it, though, Jeff. That's what he's trying
They're
to tell
rolling
you.
the cars and coffee in style. It's all right.
that's right. I can
know.
barely reach the pedals as it is. So.
Them turkeys look pretty factory up in there.
Yep.
God, Jeff.
Yeah.
So,
All right, my lighting
James,
isn't that great.
James, I got a text message today, and sounds like DNA High Performance is now a dealer for Cobra Engineering. Is that true?
Yes. Tyler's his name, right?
Tyler
he,
Davis, yes.
He messaged me, and I talked to him at Bowling Green a little, and I just shot him over a price list. So I guess they're going to start doing some stuff.
I gotta tell you, I gotta give a plug, dude. I've ordered, I don't know, a handful of things from DNA, and it's like I messaged Alan, which I guess he prefers you message, some of his other people.
He doesn't like doing the work, Jeff. Come on now.
Well, but I'm gonna tell you what. I mean, I hit him up. I'm like, hey, I need some IDs, and 2 days later they show up, and I've ordered a couple of things from him, and every time. He's always, you don't have to, his price is good and his, service is phenomenal. So props to them, DNA.
Absolutely.
That's cool. We'll see how it goes. I mean,
Fire up the CNC machine, James. Tyler and them are about to sell so many. You're going to be so backed up. I'm telling you.
I'm getting help from some people I trust to get that coolant crossover going, because if I spent my time on that, I would have nothing else.
Well, everybody I talked to wants that coolant crossover. So I was at NMRA and I had like 3 or 4 people up there in the staging lanes ask about that. So
I got 50 sets coming for the first run, and I got a feeling they'll go as fast as I get them.
Well, I got to say, that's the only thing I don't like about the Gen5 is that crossover is kind of a letdown.
I think the air intake is a total letdown too.
yes.
I mean, I wish they would offer it without the sensor in it, because most people aren't running that sensor anymore.
The math air sensor.
No, that too, but yes.
Oh,
I
I
was
got you.
running IT1 Gen 1 style when you got a slot style MAF. I have no idea. They wire right in.
Yeah,
It's a no-brainer.
Right.
exactly.
So what else you gonna come? Hey James, what are you gonna come up with next? You got anything else rolling around in your smart head?
I'll put it this way: that coolant crossover was in my head for probably 6 years, and I just couldn't get it into aluminum. So I got a lot. I'm not even sure where to go.
I got the oil cooler deleted about 3 years ago, and I just put it on last week. It's a nice piece.
Oh, you mean this one?
That fits
Yep.
awesome.
Uh,
That TPS relocation deal.
I just put mine on the other night too.
You did put yours
Worked
on,
great.
Chad?
Yes,
it
sir.
does. I had somebody message me, and I forget who it was, but they said something about it wouldn't get full throttle, but it does get full throttle, no
Yeah.
issues.
Nope.
Works fine. I drove my car down the street, works great. That was my biggest issue at NMRA. Actually, what happened was, if you've seen it, I don't know if I have it around here or not, but we broke a TPS at NMRA actually before I was loading up, and that's what was giving me all my issues. I pull it off and I get home and it's cracked. Well, I had one pass at NMRA where I let off the trans brake button. The car didn't go nowhere. It just popped and bang. I looked over the data once I got home and noticed that TPS was on reading like 20%. Car went full lean right off the line. I got out of it and got back into it, and it only showed like 80% throttle all the way down the racetrack, and I was wide open.
I wish I
I
would've
had
known
three
that.
of them break.
I had them in the trailer. I always have extras. I wish I would have known that.
I didn't know it was broke.
Yeah.
From the outside, you couldn't
That's
even
how
tell.
I was changing my spark plugs, and I flipped it over and thought, I don't think this thing's supposed to be in multiple pieces.
I was sitting at home. I went, I bought that one from James there, and I went to go look at it, and I was like, holy crap. I was like, that TPS is at an angle. I was like, why is it at an angle? The plug was at an angle. I went to pull it off, and literally just all of it pulling apart. I was like, holy crap.
You know,
like,
I kind of wish they would redesign that too, but I guess after you put solid mounts and do all the stuff you do, I guess at this point it's a null and void point.
Well, I'll say one thing for Whipple, like, so AJ's like cut the intake tube or the elbow in half and split it so you can change the plugs. And there is nothing to work with there. They honestly did the best with what they had. There's no space. There's nothing. Every angle is utilized. It's tough. And then you got a picture, you got a 17-year-old car platform, and they're gonna design a cast aluminum elbow for it. I'm shocked they even did it, to be honest.
How much trouble would that be though? Because I mean, dude, it would certainly make changing the plugs a lot easier.
It stumped me for a long time. Once I cut it apart, the angles were so drastic that it was hard to get it to go back together.
Yeah, but I mean, them as a manufacturer, of course, you know, I don't know how many more, you know, revisions they're going to make, but I mean,
17-year-old platform. I'm shocked they even made this one.
Me too.
right?
Me too.
yeah,
But
I
we
was
are
blown
very
away.
grateful that they do continue to make
Exactly.
parts for us.
And that's one
No,
thing.
for
I'm-
sure. And you know, Whipple, you know, they do help out the small fries. You know,
For
I mean,
sure.
they got, you know, some big guys, but they still take care of some of us smaller guys too. So we're
Yeah,
definitely.
you got to thank Whipple and James and Metco. Those guys continue to help us.
Exactly.
So-
James, especially, like nobody else would have made that IEC relocation deal. I mean, we'd all been having problems still. I mean, if you have rubber mounts, you're pretty well
That was
screwed.
a revision from the Gen 4 because the Gen 4 crushed the AC lines.
Hey, I think was I the first one who cracked one and called you? And you said, oh, well, I can just flip it around backwards. And I said, yeah, I think you can.
No, it was someone with a yellow Cobra. And I should know his name, but it was a long time ago.
Was that Dan?
It could have been. And he sent me a bunch of pictures. In fact, they're the ones I put on the website to show it with the AC line. That was the first one.
Passenger side rear bolt for the lower
This
intake
one-
does suck, but it's not
Yes.
as bad as like the 3.4 was. I can legit get to that back bolt now pretty easily. I put a magnet inside a socket and it will
That's what I
hold
did
that.
too. Yeah.
It's so simple when you do that. And
Yep.
you just go on Amazon, look it up, and it will change your life. I promise.
That's like this swivel socket trying to change the plug.
Oh, that's a pain. But hey, actually relocating the IEC, pulling that back makes number 3 cylinder makes it a lot easier to get to. So,
I think having air conditioning on is a little bit makes it harder.
who
too,
runs
because,
air conditioning?
Man, you know,
on,
I probably
Jeff.
should have took
This is
it
the Great
off.
White North, and I got air conditioning. Come on.
Oh,
No.
it's a race car, man.
Hey, fat people don't like sweating, dude.
Get a fan. You'll be all right. Come on.
You know,
Hey, I'll mount a fan, like instead of a monster tack, I'll mount a fan, you know, like the bracket racers do and blow it at me.
Yeah,
Oh,
yeah.
there you go.
Get that
You know,
Gotta
Milwaukee.
every
have
race-
those little solar
every
panels
race-
on it though.
Oh my! Every race we went to this year was hot. Even Bowling Green wasn't
Bowling
great
Green
weather.
was actually kind of miserable. I was
Yeah.
surprised. I went to Indy in July, and NMRA was just as bad. It was
Yeah.
just
Oh,
as hot
yeah.
as July.
Yeah.
I was not expecting it. Typically, Bowling Green it's good prep and good air, and it was neither this year hardly. Well,
Right.
preferably wasn't that
Yeah,
bad.
we showed up, we were hoping for sevens, and we're like, this is not gonna happen. Not with
Right.
that air.
No.
We knew it wasn't.
Yeah.
We were just trying to get, and we were making a lot of progress. It's too bad. I think what we figured out, I guess we get into that, is I'm pretty sure the valve covers are filling with oil and not returning fast enough, and it's causing some oiling issues. So the cam journal that basically caused the problem and broke the chain. Chains don't break on their own. There's always a problem. And that's literally the last and furthest oil hole from the oil pump. So that's the last place for oil to get to, is that cam journal. And I suspect it had something that, and with
Started.
the methanol, there could have very well been water in the oil. I don't believe he changed the oil. He said since before what was it, Streetcar Takeover in Indy.
Oh man. So he was running the same oil as Streetcar Takeover.
I think so.
I'm telling
change
you,
mine all
that's-
the time.
Yes, I'm telling you, that's
We
rough.
need to hook him up with Lucas.
Well, he's hooked up with O'Reilly's. O'Reilly's takes care of him. And
O'Reilly's need to take care of me. Tell them to call.
Right. Call me.
Oil is like the biggest expense. I change oil all the time.
Yeah.
But
Me and Lucas are on speed dial.
Well, there you go.
so
Tell
what
him to
I've
send that
convinced
care
him, I said,
package.
I want to see him change the oil like once a day at the track.
Yes.
Literally.
You're on methanol, and that's what I was kind of wondering. Being on methanol, even E85 is bad. If you ever change oil in E85, it'll smell like E85 after one weekend of
Absolutely.
racing. So
Yeah,
if
careful about
I had oil at the racetrack for NMRA, if we'd have ran all day the first day, but we didn't, we ran like 2 passes, so I didn't change it. But typically I would change it every night before the next day because
Yep.
oil just
Wow,
gets
I'm not
so
that
bad.
I'm not that anal, but I mean,
I'm telling you,
It gets in your oil, man.
it's
The
bad.
first time he ran methanol, I was down there in 2015 at Bowling Green, and he would pump the tank dry and run gas through it. And in the morning, he'd pump the gas out. He had a drain on the tank, and then he gave up on that. He's like,
so what's the deal with methanol? Like, I guess at FL2K in the street class, you weren't allowed to run methanol. So I seen the Green Mamba had to switch to C16. What's the deal with methanol? Is it, there's some classes, I guess they don't allow it?
it's a class killer. It's unfortunately
Paint run,
well, the
methanol,
goal-
and intercooler.
The goal with AJ's is we're going to hit the sevens, and then we're probably going to back to a different fuel, so we can run some different classes because it's so limited.
I still think even on C16 or Q16, he'd still go sevens. I mean, I think he'd still do it.
Level two,
Definitely
once
Q,
you
but
yeah.
Q is a little bit finicky.
right. But the methanol, the cooling is phenomenal.
Yes, yes.
So you got to figure going through the burnout box. The oil temps are around 210 at the burnout box. By the end of the quarter, he's 165 oil temp.
Till they go down. Yeah, it's going down.
That's all fuel, no coolant.
So, yes, Jeff does run Lucas Oil. Go to his stick shift page on Instagram. You will see it on a crate. It is on the back. Always is.
Hey, I got a whole shed full. I mean, it works.
There you go. And I believe your
I got a
record.
shipping number.
I believe even your record holder
I
has it.
I sent Chad a care package not too long ago.
I use it in everything.
Is that right, Chad? You use it and everything too? The Lucas?
Yeah.
Do you run it
for
in your car?
Yeah. And I use it in my truck, my lawnmower, everything. So,
No kidding.
yeah.
5W50, is that what you're running in the car?
I run
That is actually what
10W30.
I was using that, and then I started running 1030 conventional because Paul's High Performance. He's a friend of mine, and he told me that he preferred the traditional oil with the E85. So I figured I'd give it a try, and a couple oil changes and see, what the deal is.
Oh,
Yeah, I
look,
know.
someone wrote on there. It was Malcolm. That's who it was.
Yeah,
Malcolm.
Malcolm
Oh,
with
yeah.
the yellow Cobra. Yeah,
I
unrealistic.
got you.
He's got
The
that
one
going
that
on.
first came to me with that.
Oh,
Yeah,
I've
he
heard
gets-
of him, but I don't know that I know him.
SVT Performance and stuff.
Okay, yeah.
Yeah.
Doesn't
old school guy.
Doesn't E85 have similar cooling effects as methanol? James?
Yes and no. In other words, yes, but just not to that level. It's a whole different level. So we run dual 220 pound per hour fuel injectors per cylinder.
Ooh.
The volume of fuel in that engine.
What fuel pump do you run on that baby?
It's a mechanical pump driven by a cable off a cog drive on the engine. So the pump's in the back. So it's substantial amount of fuel.
Sounds like it.
Now you bring up pumps. Go ahead, James.
I want to say 2 to 3 gallons a run, somewhere in there, maybe more.
Damn.
Oof.
We're talking about 2 to 3 gallons a pass. Is that what you're saying?
Somewhere around there, I think. Don't quote me on that.
So he ain't running 20 pounds a bag and a run like me?
Well, there's a 20-pound bag of ice in there in the intercooler. So we tried running without an intercooler. We played with it. And the problem is the burnout, the creeping up to the light, it just kill it. It just ruined it. It got hot.
So
when
that
you're
thing
not
sounds
dumping
like expensive to run. You got ice, you got methanol.
Yeah. So really
Yeah.
the intercooler system is just for getting until you pump the fuel in, you got to keep it cool.
Yes. And if
So-
you don't keep it cool, the rotors will lock up in the blower.
What we're talking about maybe doing, since we got to pull the head off and get that reworked. First off, he's going to O-ring the oil because everything's hooped and copper gasket. But maybe dry decking the heads and running coolant through just the heads.
There's AJ. He jumped on here. He says 2.5 gallons per pass is what he goes through.
Ooh.
There you go.
Holy shit.
What does methanol run a gallon? I mean, is it like $10 like race fuel, or is it?
No, it's cheap. It's cheaper than race gas.
But it's got a barrel. Put it this way, the local dirt track guys run it in their sprint cars and they don't think anything of it, and they're cheap bastards. So
Oh, shit. No offense to you, circle track guys, dirt guys.
Right.
Yeah, think about that. 2.5 gallons per pass. I literally run a pump that's 3.5 gallons per minute. And it don't take him a minute to get down a drag strip. Although I am out of fuel, and that was going to bring my next question is which fuel pumps are you guys running?
I got the four hat with the 2 525s.
I just run 2 465s.
my
Really?
experience, 465s, if you run 2 465s, you can do miracles. If you run 3, you can put a fire.
Yeah. I might upgrade to the 525s over winter, but
I don't know. I had issues with the 465s, but I mean, I shouldn't say issues. I mean, they were fine for, 4 or 5 years, but everybody was telling me just go straight to the 525s. They're essentially the same price. And
right.
they were easy to get, during COVID when I put them in last year, where the 465s, I guess that's the popular pump that everybody knows. So they go for, what everybody tells them to get. So there weren't any available at that time.
Gotcha. I know that.
$185 per 55-gallon drum for M1.
Oh,
Wow.
That's a good question, Alex. Do y'all run the booster pump on one of those pumps?
no.
Or both
No.
pumps? No booster pumps.
I ran
at
a booster pump years ago, and I had it fail a couple times. Like it tripped the breaker, the fuse, and I said, "Nah, to hell with this." That's one more thing. I'm keep it simple, stupid. Because anytime I try to make something fancy, it causes an issue.
Yeah.
In my opinion, booster pump was a Band-Aid for not wanting to open up the fuel tank.
That's
Correct.
exactly right.
Yeah.
Yeah, exactly. I need to do some upgrading in that area. Are you all running factory alternators? Are you running a factory alternator? No. What are y'all running?
I run a
A
Kenneth
factory
Miley.
alternator and an 0304 Cobra?
No.
Shit. Most
Hey,
people
hey,
run
I
07
gotta
or 8
ask,
of those.
a
Nope.
question.
I got a Kenneth Miley. Never had a problem. It's been on since 2016 or 17.
Mhm.
He got a good one because I had one and that thing would never work right. And I bought the upgrade, the wiring upgrade. And it, huh?
Right there, factory alternator on there,
You got
45,000
which
miles.
one?
My little factory alternator, 46,000 miles.
You only go
It
to the
must be
grocery
stock.
store though.
No.
Well, I've owned it since new. In all fairness.
So I got a Nations on this one that actually came off Tanner's car. He went to the 10 rib, or I don't know what actually happened, but I think that's what he was going for. And then the next week I saw everything on his car for sale. So, but yeah, I got that Nations, and dude, let me tell you, that I had to go underneath it and dial it back because it was putting too much volts out.
So you got an
That thing's
external
the-
regulator.
That thing's the truth.
So
What?
fun story on AJ's car on the alternator is he used to run it where the AC is, and he ran as high as 16 volts, same thing, external regulator. And at Indy last year, NMCA and MRA, he did one of his famous wheelies, comes down, there's parts flying off. I'm having my heart attack like usual. And it turns out it was the tensioner for the inner belt and the belt flying off. And so he went home, the alternator off, and said, screw it. No more inner belt.
You know, the thing I respect about AJ is he is definitely not afraid to tear something up.
No,
And
he's
when
not.
he tears it up,
He
it's
sends
like,
it.
no big deal. We'll fix it, man. I tear it up, and all I'm thinking about is, damn, I just got done paying for the last.
Yeah, I'm just like you. I'm crying inside. He came to my trailer after that. He's like, "Oh, we'll get her fixed. You know, it'll be no big deal. Couple bent valves. We'll get it done." It's like, dude, I'd be in tears right now. Like you wouldn't even be able to talk to me.
Yeah.
But external pump versus in tank pump. What do you guys think about that situation?
For the intercooler.
No, fuel pump, external or
fuel pump.
internal.
I'll stick
Intake
with the
mess
in
around
tank.
unless you are literally backing it off a trailer and having a golf cart push it into lines, maybe external. Other than that, run an internal pump. Let the fuel cool the pump.
Right.
Don't let the heat get low.
I mean,
It's
when
your
I think
friend.
of, external pumps, I think of like 1989 and an Aeromotive 1000 hanging out the back bumper.
Oh,
and
yeah.
that thing
Fox
singing
Body
like,
Life.
yeah, and you know, it seemed
Don't be
like
throwing
people
our
were
age
always
in, Jeff.
having problems with them. I think that the in tank deal is perfectly, you know, fine for 90% of America.
I think a lot of people get too worried about staging the pumps. I think that's what their problem is. They're worried about running two pumps, one going bad, not knowing it. But I haven't really heard too many people having issues with one pump failing or anything like that. But I can tell you, I run a single, and it's supposed to be an external, but it's internal. It's loud, it's annoying, and it's already out of fuel. So I could have done two 465s and been much better off.
Yeah.
Hold on, you got a single?
I run a Magna Fuel 4303 pump is what I run. And
Okay.
that's
You've
why
been waiting for 465s in.
Jeff was making fun of me earlier because he's like, when you going to make a full pass? Well, two problems we got here. We got IET issues. They're almost 200 degrees, a little bit past.
You need to get James to get you one of them EMP pumps.
And then the second problem that I've got is when I get to third gear and I start getting above $7,000, I'm already down to like 42 PSI on my fuel pump. So my injectors are compensating for all that. And I'm at 90% injector duty cycle. I'm running the FIC 1650s. So it's kind of a Band-Aid, but it's not the correct way of doing things. So I need to get.
Bro, you're a baller over there with that Hall Tech and all that high-end stuff. How can you not have a high-end fuel pump?
I've got 3 kids that are playing sports. That's how.
Hey, I got 2. I know all about that
I'm
life.
telling you. I was good to go, and they got old enough to start playing sports. They're just like, where did my money go? I was like,
what sport do they play?
They're softball players and baseball players.
Okay,
I want to get my boy in drag racing.
Traveling country.
I got 2 soccer superstars, and it's like, dude, it's funny. I went straight from FL2K to a soccer game.
Hey,
So-
your buddy's in here, SVT Dan. He's talking shit over here in the chat about you. I mean,
Uh-oh.
you got anything to say about that? He put a
Oh,
shit
I don't,
emoji.
you know,
by
I'm
his
glad
name.
I can't. I'm glad I can't see what he's saying because I can only imagine.
Well, I just assumed because he said "Howdy, fellas," and he put a shit emoji next to it, so I didn't know.
Dude,
You know,
let me tell you what.
Dan, you missed it earlier. He was already on here talking it, so I don't.
Hey,
AJ,
Dan might be hating on me, but I got to tell you, dude, I like Dan. He's a good dude. His car is super clean, and he's outrunning me. So at this point, you know, it's all in fun.
Y'all need to meet up and run those things. Can we get a race at Mod Nats? Dan, you going to Mod Nats?
Yes, he is. He's bringing my wheels.
Oh boy, y'all need to line it up, Mod Nats.
I'm down.
Get it done. What do you think about that, Dan? Let us know. He said, "Ha ha, lies." He told me it's lies. I may have pushed a little bit there, Dan. Not a lot though. So
AJ
he's
pump is on there. That's a cable drive Waterman mini sprint car pump. It runs 75% duty cycle at 8,500 RPM.
He's on another level than we are.
I think so.
the king.
When he was doing that, I was like, how much? What?
Hey, how much you give me to put Cobra Engineering on the side of the car?
I think here's a good place to mention that I am a 4 fuel system, and I'd rather pitch that. It's just clean. It works. It's easy.
How about the 4?
You know what? I actually got a 4 filter from James last week. He actually got me some injectors too. This time I got injectors last year from DNA, and I bought them this year from James. So he can get you hooked up on that too.
Yeah, talking about baller status. What are we talking about over, Jeff? Come on. But no, if you want to put Cobra Engineering on the side, he said he'll give you a good koozie. I can ship it to you right now. We'll just go ahead and get that taken care of.
There you go.
Oh no. You got the wrong koozie, Jeff.
Oh, hey. No,
he's gonna hook me up with a clutch.
Trimick and McLeod are some good folks. I will tell you.
I always ran McLeod in the Fox body stuff back in the day. I will say that. I'm guessing I see the king. Who is the king? Is that Alan? Alan, I think it's Alan. He says IRS is garbage. Throw it out the anchor. What? Throw out the anchor.
Oh, shots fired.
Yeah. Dude, Alan's repping McLeod with the goodness, dude. 850s on a McLeod clutch. That's getting it done.
He's slipping it too with his left leg there. Somebody asked something about exercises. What did I see? Let's see what this. Something about
for what?
Exercising your clutch leg. Do y'all do any exercises for your clutch leg?
If you got a McLeod, you don't need to exercise because the damn thing's as light as a factory pedal.
There you go. I did see somebody talk at it. Dan, are we going to get the race? We don't know on that.
What's that?
I'm trying to get Dan and Jeff to race at Mod Nats.
Hey, I'm down, dude. I just got to make it. I got to make it to Mod Nats first because I didn't make it last year and I didn't make Bowling Green 2 years, so I ain't jinxing myself.
I don't think anybody went to Mod Nats last year.
Oh yeah,
that's a good point. That's a good point. No, I don't think anybody went to Mod Nats last year. If you did, you were by yourself.
Yeah,
That's right. Yeah, that's right. The year before, I went on my bike and broke the rear wheel.
Oh my goodness.
Yeah, I can tear up a bike.
Yeah, well, when it's your daughters, I guess so. So
I don't want you representing my brand.
Right.
Hey, Dan says it's a date. Jeff, Dan says it's a done deal. He said he will race you any day.
How much?
Do you want the back tire or anything, Jeff? Just, I mean.
Hey, let me tell you what. No. A 925 and a 935. That don't need nothing, dude. That just needs straight up, heads up.
There you go.
For how much?
Oh, yeah. Y'all run for money? I hear money.
I love money.
Hey, Chad can bet on me.
Oh, shoot. All right. Anybody got any questions for these folks on here before we jump off? We've been going for an hour and 15 minutes. You know, they got a life, they got things to do.
Well, I got an idea, Daniel. I was pitching around with Jeff at Bowling Green in 2, I believe. I'm thinking, wait, jeez, I'm reading the comments there. I'm thinking of doing
contingency.
Say that again, James.
Contingency nationals, something. Or I'll set up a web page and then maybe check the Facebook page. Everybody out there, if anyone who trophies with one of my parts on the car that I got to figure out how I'm going to prove that you actually have it. Maybe find a sales receipt. So watch the Cobra Engineering Facebook page, and maybe I'll throw you a couple $100 if you trophy with one of my parts on your car.
Hey, did y'all hear that? Cobra Engineering, Mod Nats. If you've got his parts on the car.
I'm at Bowling Green. I got all these cars there, and I honestly don't know everyone that has a part or not. I have no clue. I can't keep track of that.
I would be willing to bet most Cobra guys have got at least one part from Cobra Engineering on it.
They should.
The head cooling mod, a lot of people look at these other companies and none of them are as nice as yours and well thought out as yours. Not even close. And then the cooling crossover delete was like the best thing ever. It's better than having just the AM fittings on top and just making all everything is well thought out. So I bet the majority of Cobra guys out there have at least one part on their car and get the TPS deal.
Hey, I got a proposition here, James. I'll pick you up from the airport and you can come to the Mod Nationals, and then that way when they win, you can see it and you can get in the winner's circle photo with them.
There you go.
Got it to my employer, EMP, the ones who make these pumps.
Hey, I went to take off Friday today, and my boss said, "Oh, by the way, we're off for Veterans Day on Thursday, so I guess maybe I'll have to get to the Mod Nats a day early now."
There you go. I can't get off for Mod Nats. Every single year I try to put in for it, I can't get off at that time. Everybody's hunting at my work, so I'm low man on totem pole, and I cannot get off. So
same here.
Really
the 15th is opening day hunting up here, and
it sucks,
it's like,
man.
You can get it off of school. It's such a big deal up here.
Oh yeah. When I was in school, like parents would literally come get their kids out of school to go hunting on opening day. It's ridiculous.
Yeah.
Well, I really hope that the weather is not like Bowling Green at Mod Nats. I hope that the weather's cool.
So you want the snow? Is that what you're trying to say? Don't be.
I don't want snow, but I want that unicorn weather we had the year before last.
Yeah, I hear you. What about a lower radiator hose solution, James? Anything on that? And Dan says he has your secondary tensioner and cooling mods.
Oh, there you go. I don't know who to check for, Jeff.
Hey, I'll vouch for Dan. Dan's a straight shooter, so if he wins, I'll vouch for him that you need to pay up.
There you go.
The radiator hose thing is basically planned to come out with the cooling with the crossover parts. My goal is to have a whole swamp of crossover parts that are all going to work together. And I do want to get a thermostat housing out that doesn't actually have a thermostat, so you can still retain your bypass if you want to.
Gotcha. That'll be a good idea.
I keep bugging him that he needs to sell a kit, dude. He needs to sell a kit ready to bolt on instead of this. Here, let me go try to find some AN fittings and stuff.
It's hard to do that, I would think.
Frankly, where I live, Summit Racing is my supplier for -12. 4 only goes up to -10, and I get them for all my cooling mods. So.
Yeah, somebody needs to get a hold of 4 and have them fix that situation, because I don't understand why they only.
Oh, he's working on it.
Okay, good deal. That's what I want to know.
Way ahead of you. I emailed him 2 years ago, a year ago, whenever it was, and he's working on it, but he's got a full plate too, right?
Yeah, I figured he does.
Four makes some nice stuff, and he makes stuff for so many vehicles to where, I can only imagine how busy they are at the moment.
Yeah,
I think that new GT500 came out, and that swamped every manufacturer, basically trying to get ahead of the game.
That, and you can't get no material.
Yeah.
So,
yeah, I was.
Yeah, it just cost.
Okay.
I
So
actually had talked to the G-Force guy tonight, and he was telling me that same thing. And drive shaft shop, same problem. They're having a hard time getting steel to make, make parts. And I don't get it. Everywhere you go, people are looking for people. It's like, well, 2 years ago, you couldn't find a job if you wanted one because there were nothing. And now there's jobs everywhere and they can't get anybody to work.
Everybody got crypto rich.
Yeah.
that's really true.
Doogie coin.
Doji.
Dogecoin, baby.
Dogecoin. Everybody's got a little Dogecoin.
I'll take crypto. Anybody want to pay me in crypto? I got wallets.
There you go. Cobra Engineering taking crypto.
Perfect.
I'm knowing about Bitcoin since 2011.
We're on
So
this.
nobody's got any questions for us to wing, huh?
Somebody says something about losers goes the solid rear axle, and that's the king saying that. And somebody just want to know about the lower radiator hose solutions. All we've got there.
Let me tell you what. I've had a 94, 95 axle in my shed for 2 years now, and every time I think I'm going to get to that point, something else goes wrong. Like, you need a Holly, you need this. So it's like at some point I'll get caught up, and that'll go in.
Yeah. What made you go to the Holly? I've always wondered it because it seems like a lot of people are going to the Holly route and not going to the like Haltech, Fuel Tech, or Motec route. Especially you, because you said the other day you were really close to Jay, and I was surprised you didn't go Motec.
Well, he told me $10,000, and real quick I said, yeah, no. I mean, I don't know if that 10,000 was like installed and tuned.
Yeah,
but
it probably was installed.
I hear that, I mean, obviously it's the cat's meow. And, if Motec's listening, they want to give me one, I'll put one on the car. But I mean, the Holly just seems like and see, I was having issues with the wiring with the factory ECU. So when I would try to upload a tune, it would brick the computer. And, I couldn't, every time I went to make a change in the tune, had a problem, and no one could figure it out. So I figured, I'm tired of messing with it. And I thought Holly, they've been around a long time. The sensors are easy to get. Any track you go to, there's probably going to be somebody who knows Holly. And, and my boy Yasko was hot to trot to put it in. So it was like a no-brainer.
Gotcha. All right, I got one question here, and we'll end on this. It's been an hour and a half almost. So 4R70W versus other transmission options. What's your thoughts?
Magnum.
T56 Magnum. There you go.
Did you run a 4R70 before, Dan?
I did. Yes.
Yeah.
I had
Chad's got one right now.
Chad's got a 4R70, and I think he has what I have, probably the Freddie Brown. Is that what you're running?
Yep, Freddie Brown. Bob Monk's built it for me. I haven't had any problems with it at all.
No problems at all. But you haven't used trans brake yet, and that was one thing that I was worried about was the trans brake on that. But you're cutting 1 3/60 off idle.
Yep.
Really don't, if you get to that 1 2 1 3 area and you're consistent, you really don't even really need
right
the trans brake, in my opinion.
I agree.
Other than reaction time might be a little better, but
I'm still gonna try it though.
So you are going to hook it up?
Oh yeah, I'm definitely gonna hook it up. So.
Years ago, when I was real good friends with John Pavia, he put a 4R7W back in his car, and every time he tried the trans brake, something would happen. It'd let go. It would twist the drive shaft. It tripped the fuel sensor in the back.
That's not transmission problems though.
Well, no problems. But what I'm saying is the car would never go as fast with a foot brake on the trans brake. So I'm curious to see if it works for Chad.
I'm gonna try it. I mean, I'm doing decent. I feel, but it's worth a try.
I did one 4R75 and the 2-valve twin turbo I built up here, and it held up. I'll say that it did. What was it, 1150 wheel on a Mustang dyno through that transmission?
Mm-hmm. Yeah,
and it helped. It holds up. The engine let go before that. We split the block in half before the tranny let go. So
I'll
say that much. But for the other Cobra I got over here, I got a 6R80. So, and I honestly picked up a truck transmission for $700. The downfall of that is a $1,000 computer to run it.
I would
Just
like
the
to see a 6R80 in a Cobra because, you know, my buddy Joe was going to do it years ago, and then he sold his car before he ever did it. So never actually got to see it happen. And obviously I know people have done it, but no one that I know firsthand. And you seen Brett LaSala or not, what's his name? Jim Braun this weekend at FL2K went well, I think he went 8s or 7s with the 6R80.
790s.
Yeah.
So yeah, bring up the 6R80. The big issue is you don't have the factory ECU and you have to use some other control like US Shift. I hear the US Shift still has issues with the 6R80, like the clutch engagement or something is not there correctly. But Jim Brom, he's running Motec. Motec is the ticket, and again, that's expensive. You're talking $3,000-$4,000.
I already bought all the computers. I got the MS3, the plug and play, and I got the quick shift all set up for it. I've had it for like a year now. I want to sell all that and get the Motec and be done in one shot. You know, I just
the Motec is super nice.
Anyway.
Well,
Joe,
you know, in hindsight, you know, 10 grand might not have been too bad because I'd have one of the best tuners in the country, you know, 15 miles away.
Yeah, exactly. And you'd be running 8s already. I mean, I could have blown away when you said he was 10 minutes from me. It'd be nice if he'd tune your Holly, but who knows?
Believe me, I've known him since he was with LaMotta years ago, and you know, I see him pretty much at all the races, and we always talk. But you know, he says Motec or nothing, and I mean, he's pretty, you know, he's pretty hardcore. But I get it; he's in demand, and you know, they got some high end stuff going on there. So for him to spend 2 or 3 hours to help me out, you know, which isn't his market, you know, just isn't in the cards.
No, you got to sell his products that he sells. But you got Joe on here talking about 9. He said, well, he wants to know if we're still talking about 9-second cars, saying that you're just a bracket racer, you know. Joe Terry. Joe Terry. You know Joe Terry?
Who?
Joe Terry.
Name sounds familiar. What does he race?
It's on a delay. It'll be a while. Anyways, we're getting people starting to fall off here because we've been going for an hour and a half. I'm going to let you guys go tonight. I appreciate you very much for coming on tonight.
Thanks for having us.
Oh, man. Yeah, we'll have to do it again some other time.
Sure.
Good luck on getting those 8s, Chad. Jeff.
Thank you.
Mod Nats. I expect you to beat SVT Dan. I'd say I'd put some money on it, but you're not giving me a whole lot of faith saying, I may make it, I may not make it. So
no, hey, let me tell you what, after Friday, I'll feel better after I go beat the old turd down the track a few times.
Okay, sounds good, man. James, as always, much appreciated. Again, if you want parts for James, go to DNA High Performance, Tyler Davis, or Adam Higdon. Hit them up in Messenger. They will help you out any way they can. James is going to be firing them CNCs up, pushing them products out. He won't be working that steer very much longer. So,
hey, you fellas,
guys.
take it easy.
Yeah, we'll see you later, guys. Bye.
See you guys.